Welcome to this Git training where I'm going to share with you my experience after working with 3 companies so far. So I'm going to share with you the different Git commands that we use daily, and I'm going to show to you how they look like using Git Graph, so you'll be able to visualize different Git commands and how they actually appear in the backend or underlying in the CLI. And I'm going to share with you also different collaboration techniques that we use when we are working together in a team. So we have like pull requests and how we also resolve merge conflicts. And I'm also going to share with you different branching strategies that we use while building projects. So single branches, and there is also feature branching and Git flow. So I'm going to share with you all these techniques. So this video is not how to start to use Git, or what is Git, or what is versioning, or what all of these things. These are like other YouTube videos. You probably need to watch them, and also I will put like different links for these YouTube videos that you could watch. But this video is more to how to use Git professionally at work and how we actually use it at our jobs. So I'm going to share the experience, not like the knowledge itself, but rather the experience, how we actually use them. So without further ado, let's start playing with Git commands. The first command that we use when we're creating a new Git repository is git init to initialize my project. So this is the first one. And after we initialize the Git repository, we need to create our first commit, or what we call initial commit. So maybe I would add my package.json file to start a new JavaScript project. So I was just like npm init, and I will just like pause all of these things to just add my package.json file. And maybe I would like to do npm install lodash, add like a package. And also I would like to create my source directory, and I would like to add my index.js file inside it. And maybe like const ab is equal to an empty function for now. Okay, so now I created like my start. So this is the first part. I would just initialize my project, and this is where the important part we start with, is to add my git ignore file. And inside it, I would start to say ignore. Yes. So inside it, I would add the files or directories that I don't care about. So I don't care about my node modules. So when I do it, it would remove my node modules from like the tracking part. So now I am ready to create my initial commit. So first thing I would do, git add. And git add is basically to add different files and directories that I would like to attach to this commit. So I would write git add. And this is a mistake. Before I do git add, I actually should do git status. Because with git status, I am able to see the different files and directories that I would like to see eventually. And if I added a file by mistake, you would just like go to my tracking Git tool and just like click this negative, and you have like inside your ID. I wouldn't use it like here because it would be slower. Git CLI is like for fast things, but if you need to see like different individual stuff, you would use Git tracking versions that you have inside your tool. So I would click, for example, I maybe need to check the package.json, what are the changes? Oh yes, I see like I added this stuff. Maybe I would click on this one. Yes, I would like to add this function. Oh yes, I forgot to add this one. So in this case, I would just click this plus, and now I add it. And package.log as well, I would like to add my package.log. So I would just like add plus. And after I did everything, I usually don't trust my ID. So I would do again git status to make sure that everything that I would like to include is there. After I added everything, I will just git add again, and then git comment, and then I would say initial commit. Now I added my different stuff, and as I promised, I would like to show the graphical structure. So I would go to a tool called Git Graph, and basically would show us the history inside the git commit. So now we initialize our project. Now we like to start creating our first feature. So when we create features and so on, we don't push them to master, but rather we create a new branch and add our features there. And after we are done, we merge them back to master. So I would write git checkout. There is also another command, git branch, and then you would write feature A, for example. This is the name of the feature that we would like to develop. But I don't do this one. I would rather use the git checkout -p. Why? Because this one would create the branch and also would check out in a single command. Like we said, we would like to do things faster. So I would go to feature underscore A. So now when I check out, now I go to feature A, and now I am like branching away from master. So inside feature A, maybe I would like to add a button. So now I created a button, and I would write const button is equal to an empty function for now, because like we said, we don't care about it. And now I would git add, before git add, git status. Now I see I would like to add this button, git add, and then git commit. And usually you would write add feature A, the name of the feature. But the way we do it is that we start before the commit message, we add the ticket number. So whenever you are working with a certain feature or a bug or whatever you would do, you would have a number for the ticket in Jira. So in this case, we add the ticket number. Usually, of course, like it depends on your project, your team. Usually you would ask your manager or your team leader or product manager, what is the ticket number, or you would already know about it during stand-up and meetings. So let's assume it's PR1. This is our ticket number. And then we add the message for this commit. So now we added this commit, and now we see our message. And after we finish playing around, we would go back and get checkout to master. And we say merge. So how to do merge is git merge, and then the branch you would like to merge into master. So the first step, you check out to the branch, which is master, and then bring the branch you would like to bring into your master. So we'd write git merge feature A. And now we see our feature is merged. After we merge, we delete the branch. So git branch -d. This would delete the branch that like for this feature, because we would like to keep our history or our git like tree and so on very clean. So whenever you finish something with branches, we delete them to keep our history clean. So just check out branch -d and then feature A. So now the branch would be deleted. Of course, like it is not rather the branch, but rather the branch name itself. The commit is already, like the commit exists. And how to see the history if you don't have this Git graph and you would like to see it here inside like our CLI, you could write git log. You would be able to see all the past commit. Of course, like we only have two, and to exit, you just press Q. Or you could see it all in one line. So you could write git log -- and then one line. And when you see it, like you see everything in one line instead of like the whole thing. So that's clear now. And now comes like, let's create a second feature. So we get checkout -p and we say feature B. Now we'll discuss the squash command. So what is squash? So first thing, we get checkout to feature B. And now let's go to button, and maybe we say, okay, I would like to do console.log button. And it would say there is uncommitted changes. So we do again get status, of course. Of course, like I'm just like going up. And I check like my files already, what we need to add. And then I would click git add. Sorry for like this stuff. I would just like clear it, and I would do it again. So first thing, get status to check my files, and then git add to add my files, and then get commit. And this is a PR2, which is like the second ticket name. And then we say like console button. I don't know. Okay, so we added first commit, and then we would like to add button.test.js to be able to test this button using unit tests. So I would just write this and test button. And now it says like this other one. I will do again. Of course, now I don't write get status because it's a single one. It's just like a single test, and then get commit and the ticket number, and then button test. Now I add the second commit, and then maybe after doing testing, the tester comes and says, hey, this button shouldn't be like this, but rather you should add this one. Okay, so we add it, and we do git add, and then git commit, we say change console. Okay, so now we have like 3 commits like here in feature B, and we would like to merge them to master. If you go to feature, like if you go to master and now try to merge branch B, so if I do git checkout master, and then if I merge branch B, I would get all of these stuff. Also, like, because like at the last one, I added like different things because it failed during testing phase. So if I add all of this, now I have what we call like polluted Git history, because we have different commits that we don't care about in the Git history. We just need to add the feature, like it changed, like adding the button. Basically, this is what we eventually would like to do, or adding like the feature B. So Git provided us with something called squash. So what it would do, it would get all these commits and squash them in a single commit and merge them. So how we do it, we do git merge, and then double dash, and then squash, and then the branch that we would like to get. So we need to get feature B. So feature B. So when we do it, we see like it does like uncommitted changes and like merging and so on. Just to pass all of this, you could write git commit, or you could go to here and then approve it. But I would just like do it here, and it will show my message. And then I would say, I would click Q to exit, or dot, yeah, like we add like this colon and then Q, not the upper one, but this one. Yes, small q. Yeah, it's just Vim. I would learn it at one point. Okay, so now everything is squashed, but we see feature B. Like we said, after we finish the feature, we delete the branch that we worked on. So we say git and branch dash D, and then feature B, because we don't care about it. We already merged it inside master. So everything is committed. So we now remove the branch and we see squash commit for the following, and it add like my message. Of course, like I could have already edited when we see like this message, but I didn't care about it much. So we squash our message in a single commit. This is the benefit of squashing. Let's now discuss git rebase. So before like getting to rebase, let's reiterate what we already know about merge, because merge and rebase are already like a little bit similar to each other. So usually you would have like your master branch here like this, and then you would have like different commits inside this one. And then what you would usually do is branch out of my master branch. Let's clear this one, and then let's use another color. And then you have like your branch B, and then you do like different stuff inside it, and then you would usually merge back to master. But what happens is that in your branch, master is not like staying for you, but rather there are other colleagues who are already working and adding their commits as well, like they merging, squashing, and doing their stuff, and eventually would like to merge your branch back. But before you merge your branch back, you would have to merge master into your branch first to get all the commit and be able to merge back into master. So this is the usual way of merging. So you would get your master and edit it. But the problem with this, you would get all the master commit inside here. So you would have like this and this and this inside your system. And this is not clean because you would like to keep your feature clean, basically. So rebase is a different one. So how rebase looks like. So you would have your branch like normal here. Like this is the master branch. It's just like redraw it again, and there is like different commits. And then you branch out of here. But when you branch and you add like different feature, before merging, you need to rebase your branch. So rebasing, it would say, okay, my original commit is not this one, but rather the last one. So instead of adding the commit of master here at the end, it would like literally take this branch out of here, and then it would move it to here. So this is basically what rebase. And after you are done, we merge it back to master. So this is rebase. It's just like merge. You would need to take master into you and then merge master, like merge your branch back into master. But with rebase, you move your branch from its original one and base it to another commit or the last commit for master. Okay, so now how we describe it. Let's try to implement rebase and merge into our branching. So what we would do is like we are working on our feature now. We just like click checkout and then branch B, and then we say feature C. This is like our third feature that we would like to create. And we just like go to this file and then maybe like do another change. We don't want B, and then we do git add, git commit, and then PR3. This is the name of the ticket, and we say change text. And then maybe we go to testing and add 2 here, and we say git add, git commit -m, PR3 change test. And maybe we would like, I don't know, like go to console and we say button, like execute the function that is called button. And then we say git commit. Of course, it would fail now, so I need to git add first, and then commit execute button. Okay, so let's go to our git graph. We now see like 3 commits, but in master, if we go now to git checkout master, and if we do a change on master, of course, I need to close all of these just to not conflict Visual Studio Code because I have like a custom setup. And maybe like inside button, I don't know, like here, we would like to do const L is like an empty function. We would like to, like one of your colleague like created a branch and merge it and so on, but I'm just going to do it on master just to make things faster for now. So git commit, and we say add feature. This is like inside our master now. Like you can imagine that we created like a branch and we did everything. So git add feature, and we now commit it to master. Okay, so master is further away. It is above my feature. So if you try to do git merge, usually it might work. I didn't say like it would never work. It could work, but the best way when we are working is that we need to get the latest features from our master branch into our branch to be able to test it. Because for example, in master, there may be like a secondary feature or like adding different buttons, and they are either related to us or maybe destroy our feature or cause problems. So always merge master to your branch. This is where like either to merge or rebase. So if I did merge master into my branch, I would get it basically inside on top of my branch into it, on top of my branch. So if I go to feature B or feature C, now this is like, oh, sorry, what I did here. Okay, so basically I did a mistake here and I don't want to merge. So if in this case, I would like to exit everything if I now in panic mode, and I would like to abort the merge. This is also an important command. So usually I would just like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing now. I need to quit and create like a new terminal. And if I come here, it would say like now at the moment there is like change, like staging, and there is like merge going on. So I would just like do git merge and then -- abort to be able to cancel the whole merging stuff, like the mistakes that I did at the moment. Okay, so away from the mistakes that we did so far, this is now a new command that you already know. We now need to git checkout feature C. Feature C. Okay, so now we add now feature C, and if you merge it, if you merge master, it would add it above you, but now your feature is polluted. So I wouldn't do at the moment. You could try it, and if it's different, you could add it inside the commit. But the cleanest way we would do in this case, git rebase. So in this case, we would rebase our branch on top of master. We'd use like master as our base now. So we got rebase master. So if we write it now, we see our feature now at the top of master, and we see our line is completely clean. It is not like we don't have master on top of us, but rather we are now on top of master, and we took all the changes, but it is not like polluting our commit. Basically, this is the important part. And eventually we get to check out to master, and then merge feature C, the features that we created. And when we do it, now the feature is created. Of course, like I forgot to add the squash. Now we see my, like everything is polluted basically. So we see like our polluted history now, and we would like to fix it. Now comes like a very dangerous command, and it's called git reset hard, and it's very dangerous. So basically what git reset hard, it would allow us to like reset different things, but the most important part, we would like to move master back into this commit, like squash commit 1, and we would like to do our remerge again and do the squash back. So we would do first, before writing anything, we need to get the commit number. So I could like maybe like either right click on it and then yes, there is like git copy the commit hash to clipboard, or I could use my git log, like we said, and then one line, and then we'll be able to see the different things. And we would like to get the commit number, and let's close this one. And then we write git reset dash dash hard, and then the hash of like the number of the hash, and then it would move the head from this commit back into this one. So I would write this one. Now we are back. We moved master like as if we didn't do the merge. Of course, like this is very dangerous command, but I just wanted to show it to you. And then I could do the merge again with the squash. I will do squash and then feature C. And then of course, like we need to git commit, like we write like git commit to commit the squash stuff. And it would say like it would like to change the message. Maybe this time I would say like I don't know, like feature C. And then I would write the colon or like escape first, and then column, and then Q. How to quit them. Okay, no right sense. Okay. Yeah, I need to this one, and then Q maybe. Okay. Okay, let's do it the last time. So escape, colon, Q, and then the hash bang sync. Yeah, now it is done. Okay, let's do it again. Git commit, and then it would say this one, and then let's do the colon Q, and now it is committed. Okay, now everything is done, and now it's squashed. Of course, like in this case, I would go to like using the git tool, like git tool inside VS Code. Okay, back again, and now we need to create our remove our branch. So git branch dash D, and then feature, and what is the name? Feature C. Okay, now we have our clean history back. We don't have like our like 30, 40 commits that we don't care about. One last important command also when we are developing locally, which is git move. And git move is used to move file from one place to another while keeping the history. Some IDEs are smart to move file from one place to the other and keeping history, but some tools, they don't like do it, and it's a little bit bad. So the easiest way to do it and to be reliable and be sure that it is actually working, we do it from the command line. Okay, so how we do it? So I would like maybe move button and button.test to be inside their folder. So I could add button, like this is a new directory. And then if I move these two, VS Code might be smart to do it, to be able to, okay, if I move these two inside this one, it would create them and say, okay, these are like just were moved. But now we see it's not like very smart. It says like these buttons are moved, like removed completely from the hard disk, and it creates new files. And this like untracked, like it removed our whole history inside my git log. And in this case, this is bad. You should never do it. So the cleanest way is to do it is to use git move. So we just like revert everything that we have done so far, and we get checkout to a new feature. So we say branch and we say feature D now. So now we switch to a feature, like a new branch. Let's go to the graph. And now maybe we would like to move them inside this button. So we just like create the directory. It is normal. It's not a problem. And then we write git move. And then maybe before going to this one, I will just cd to source and then git move button.js. And then I would write the name of the other directory. So when I do it now, it is actually just like moved from one place to the other, and it's still keeping the history. Like it says, there is nothing changed actually. It just like moved from one place to the other. So this is the cleaner way. And now we do it also for the other file, for the testing one. So move button.test and then inside our other directory. This one. Okay, so now we just like move this stuff. It is not like removed, but rather it is just moved. And you would be able to see it here in the change. It's just like this one is moved from one place to the other and so on, but you don't see like the other ones that we saw. The whole file is removed and then added again. And then we just like git add, git commit, and vr for like for feature 4 and say move button. And then it is just like now, yeah, it is just like added. And since with just one commit, we just check out master and we could do a simple merge for now. Feature D. And yeah, and of course like git branch -d feature D. So now we just did the branch and now we have master again clean. So these are the commands that we use locally. Now we need to learn how to use Git actually within teams. So within your company, there would be usually something for storing all your Git commits and your repository and everything, and everyone is working on. And it is what we call like the Git remote repository, or where we store the stuff. And it usually either on GitHub, you have also Bitbucket, and there is also GitLab, and there is some people who will do like private ones in their own company and on their servers, and there is one on Amazon. Like there are different ways, but eventually they are all the same. We need to create a remote repository on their website and then push our stuff into this repository that we already created. So now I'll just like go and create new repository on GitHub because the easiest one for now and everyone knows about it. And we'll say awesome app. And we'll just say, yes, it is private for now. And I wouldn't add any stuff, and we'll just like create the repository. Of course, like using GitHub already, you would already set like your different keys and commands and all of this stuff to be able to log into. I would assume that you are now able to use GitHub and be able to just like push stuff. So now just git remote add origin, and basically it says my repository is using this GitHub repository as my remote. So I will just add git remote add origin. It is to say my repository now is using this one as a remote for my one. It could be like even another computer for your colleague. It doesn't need to be GitHub. And we already have master, and we just push origin to say push now my stuff into master. So just like git push dash origin. This is like the origin one. This is like the name of the remote. It is not needed. You don't need to know about it. And we just like push to master. Okay, so now to start like getting the stuff and creating master for remote on our local machine. And now if I refresh, I would see my stuff. So now everything is up there. Let's now discuss in this part the different collaboration parts using Git. So we'll do like a pull request and we see like merge conflicts. And we also would use the last things that we haven't used so far, because the last 4 or 5 comments are related to how we do collaboration. So we did already the first one, which is git push. So git push is to push your stuff to the remote repository. The second one is git pull. Git pull is to get the changes if there is something happened up there. So maybe I would do a quick one here. I maybe go to source and I would do something up there just to create like an extra commit. It is not something right. So I would do changes, like someone changes some stuff inside my repository and then they commit it to master, and now there is a new commit. If I try to push, it would say, okay, there is something now new. Like if I try to maybe create new changes, like if I go to here inside the index and I would say const l and let's say an empty function, and if I get add, I wouldn't create like a branch, just to, you already know that we create branches, and we say merge feature b. Okay, now if I try to push, it would say an error, because it would say, okay, wait, there is something up there. You need to first merge them into yours and then do the pull again, to do like the push again. So we do git pull to get the stuff, and the difference between git pull and the other one you have seen already, git fetch, is that git fetch is just like get the commits but doesn't add it to you. Git pull would add it to you. So if I do git fetch, it would just like get them, it wouldn't do anything else. We stay like our commit, it is still the same, it didn't merge it, because there is like inside Git there are two things. There is your master branch and there is a remote tracking thing that you track, and we usually call it origin. This is the easiest one. So we do like the other one, which is git pull, to be able to get and merge, because the other way you have to do like git merge and then merge this one into your branch. We do it in a single command, it's easier. So git pull. Okay, it would say like you would like to create the commit merge. I would just like colon q to and the stuff to merge it and so on. And we see like our this tracking stuff, and it makes sense because it is now tracking. So why it is doing it like this? Because this is your branch locally, but this one is up there. This one is current changes, but it doesn't include your stuff. So the last thing to be able to have both of them as similar, we need to do git push to push our stuff that already we added inside the index, like the extra function here. Okay, so we do git push, and we should see everything could be similar. Maybe after we push, we need to do git pull again, because we push stuff and get stuff. Okay, and we just like do reload. Yeah, we just needed to do reload, and everything should be master and origin. We just needed to do the reload. Okay, so now we did the git push, git pull. You already know git clone. You just like get this one and clone it and create our repository when you copy it. I wouldn't do this one because probably you already have done it when you started your project. Okay, now we need to learn pull request, and pull request is when we do merging, we never do merging locally. You always do merging up there. Why? Because people would add commits or comments on your changes. So usually we do git checkout -p, and you would say feature 2. Okay, and then you would do your changes. Let's remove all of these things just to keep everything clean, and we just like add console.log and we say changes. Okay, and then git add, git commit, and we say pr5 add changes, and then we do another commit. Before adding the other commit, we just like do another change, and then git add, git commit -m more changes. Let's go to the graph to be able to visualize stuff, and then git push. And now it says the branch doesn't exist up there when you're trying to push because it's not created. To set upstream, it would just like create an origin in like in your project and then push it. Okay, so set upstream origin, just one. And now we see it created the other branch in your origin, and we see feature 2 and origin. And if I go here, and now it says you would like to create the pull request, this is something nice from GitHub, but usually you have to do like go to pull request and then create your branch and so on. So we would click compare and pull request, and we say feature 2. You would start your pull request with the ticket number as usual. Was it PR5? PR5, yes. Okay, and now we create pull request. Now, when we create your pull request, you would send it to your team to be able to review it. So this is the first part where we do collaboration, where you would do like peer review. And peer review, in this case, people would say, okay, I would like to maybe, please change this to 3 or like for whatever. And then you add the comment, and then you would see it. Of course, like this is me replying to myself, but rather it would be your other colleague. And if we refresh here, you would be able to see the changes. So now you would go to your branch, and then you would say, oh, they needed it to 3, and then I would add git commit -m PR5 change to 3, and then git push to push my changes. And now if I refresh, it would say like we added changes, and then would say, yeah, it's already approved, and then we click like resolve conversation. In GitLab, it would have like similar stuff. And after you get approvals, like this now doesn't have it, but it would have like other approvals. And in this case, you would click on this one and do the squash and merge back again. And then we squash and merge, and they would say, okay, you would like to add this message. We would say confirm, because we would like to squash and merge our changes into master back again. And now when I click this one, it would say pull request successfully merged and closed the pull request. But afterwards, we need to delete the branch. So we click delete branch. And now we have more changes into our system. And we need now to not get full, but rather get checkout master and get full. And now we get our changes. But the last part, we start to see like why we already deleted that like branch feature 2 from remote. So we also need to keep our branches clean locally. So we have another command. It is called git prune or git remote, and then prune origin. So git remote prune origin, and it would basically like remove all the local branches that we have that are not up there. And we now have our feature 2, which is the local one. So we need to delete it as well. So git branch -d and then feature 2. So now everything is clean and similar to what we have up there. Of course, you could keep them if you need to, but rather we keep everything clean. Okay, and we have everything now similar to up there. Let's discuss the second part, which is resolve merge conflicts. Okay, how merge conflicts usually happen? So it would happen when two people working on the same file and they change the same exact line or lines closer. So Git would usually try to, when it tries to merge, it has like smart ways to merge to know the differences. And it would say, okay, this one, I will move this one to this one, or these are the similar. So I am able to merge two branches together. But sometimes it cannot. And in this case, it would create a merge conflict. It would say, okay, I can't merge. Please help me to merge it correctly, to not destroy your system. So we would now create a merge conflict. So let's say your other colleague did git checkout -p, and then they say feature 3, and then they add git add, not git add, sorry, we need to first do the changes. So we would say we need to add like more here, and git add git commit -m, and then they say change more. Okay, but you're also working on the same, like you post branch it from master. So let's go back. So we have master here and there is feature 3, but also you as well branch it from master. So git checkout, you are in master, and now you create your own branch, So get checkout dash p, and we say feature 4. Okay, so now you are at feature 4, and then you change the same line. Instead of more, you say less. And now you add your changes as well. So git add, git commit, and then m, less changes. Okay, so now we have two things. We have feature 3 with more changes and feature 4 with less changes, like adding the word less. Okay, and after they are done, they merged before you. So let's get checkout. Maybe instead of writing it like this, I would use the tool. So I will check out this branch. So just like click on it. So double click, and now I check to it, and get status, maybe just to make sure that I have the same tag here, and I would, or the same branch name, and then get check out master, just to go to master, and get merge my feature 3. So they merge before you, and they do branch delete, of course, and they like did everything and merge, and they are done. And now you try to merge your branch. So get merge feature 4, and if you try to do it, it would say conflict, to say, hey, I can't merge it, please like try to resolve it. And now this is one of the very few things that it is better to use tools that you are using. So we would click on index, it would say, okay, I cannot merge index. So we go here and it'd say, okay, which one we should use, change more or change less. In this case, you would need both of you. This is the only way to do it, is to do it manually, and you need to discuss, would you merge more or less? And let's say for sickness for now, we would like to add more. So in this case, we could just like move head and move all of this stuff and try to clean everything, or we could add, like, select the current changes or select the incoming changes. I would rather, instead of thinking of all of this, I would just like say, okay, we would like to keep that more. So we move all of this, and we now cleaned everything. And now we would say get merge, or I would just like approve this one. So when we approve it, or we need to add. Now we add them. And lastly, to be able to merge, we just like get commit. And it would say, like, after we resolve the conflict and so on, we just change the message if we need to. But I would just like click column Q, and now everything should be merged. So it says feature 4 is now added to master. So everything is merged and everything is nice. And we could, of course, like after we discussed and resolve our conflict, we could say get branch dash D to remove our feature branch, like the features that we don't care about. And finally, we do our push. But let's so check. Yeah, the branch is deleted, and then get push to push everything to master. And this is how we also do the merge conflict and how we resolve. We have to resolve it like using discussions. After we discussed how we use different Git commits, different Git commands, and how we do collaboration like pull request, and also how we resolve merge conflicts at work. Now the last part, which is branching strategy, and this part is important. So let's start by creating this an extra board, and let's start by the first one. And the first one is the easy one that we do, which we have only one branch, and in this case we just like start to add like different commits inside each one, a commit and the after one, and this is the main line. You only do it when you are working on your personal projects. You don't do it like with teams and so on, because with teams you always have branches. That's why we have branches. It's an important feature. This is the main line. Second one, which is feature branches, you would have your main, master one, or main, like whatever the company use it. We also add main here as well. And every time there is a new feature, you would always branch from the head, and then you would do your changes in your branch, and after you're done, you would merge it back. So this is the feature branching. It's simple one. You just like have a feature, and let's remove this one. Yes, so we now have here your feature A, for example, and there is another colleague working on another feature, and after they are done, they merge it back. And this is good when you are working on some like online application or like a SaaS project and so on. And in this case, every time there is a new feature, you would do it and it is tested and it is merged back to master and main. This is feature branching as simple as possible. And these features are always like short term like branches. They don't like a huge feature. In this case, you always do it like incrementally and always merge it, and you have your CI/CD pipelines that runs test, unit testing, building, publishing, and deploying to your server. The last one, which is a little bit complicated, and it is Git flow. And Git flow is used when you are working on a product that is being versioned, for example, like online games or Windows or Office or like something that is installable, and always they have versions. And I would simplify it as possible. Of course, like there is a huge article to be able to read it. I would add it in the description of this video. But rather we have, when we are developing using Git flow, this is the last one. We have two important branches. We have here develop branch, and we have our master branch. What is the difference? Develop branch is where we add new features. Everything is new, we add it here. Master branch is the stable branch with versions. So it is already have version 1, version 2, version 3, whatever the different version. New features are added into develop. So you could think of develop is similar to master for this one. We like the one we have done, and we always add new features. So we would come here and then, okay, I would like to add a new branch. I would create my own feature and then merge it back. So this is like a feature. And then I would do this one. We have like another feature and so on. And after it is done, there is always like the end of release. So we would stop adding new features and we say, okay, this commit is the end. Like this is a new version that is coming, like it's version 1.2.3. And we now need to create a release for people to use our product. So this branch is taken and it passes through testing, and then it is merged to master. So this is the difference. You don't merge like features into master, but rather you take them from develop into master. And now we take this one and we say, okay, now this is version 1.2.3, and we tag it. So tags, I didn't describe it during this video, but rather tags are similar to branches. But the difference is that branches, when they are working, they are always, the last commit is always moving. But tagging, you are tagging a certain commit and say, this is a commit with this name. It doesn't move. So every time you remember when we are committing, when we commit, the name of the branch moves from this commit to the next one. Like this one. Let's go to this graph. So we see like this commit and we create a new one. It moves to the up one and then to the up one. But tagging, it always stays the same and doesn't move. So in this case, this one, we would tag it and say, okay, this is like version 1.2.3. So this is how we release it. Okay, but we always, when we are working, we do two things. We do features and we do bugs. So if we go back to the feature branches or feature branching, when we have a bug, let's do it with another color, you would still do it on master. So this is, for example, a bug. You would always branch and then do the changes and then merge them back to master. But here, we don't do, like we could do bugs here. It is fine. But sometimes we need something what is called hotfixes. So it is something, or it's a bug that happened on master itself. So we created like a release and now we have a bug inside it. So now we need to create a hotfix for this one, for this exact release, because we cannot like do it here. Like if we do it and then merge it, we have to do it like in this branching. And now we like after a while in this develop branch, you have like more features, for example, and we cannot add this one to the old version. You could imagine like this is now more commits, and then you would create your fix into develop. How you are going to do it exactly, it is weird. Like it doesn't work like this. So rather you need to get from this one and then create a new branch. Oh, what is this? Let's remove this one and let's select the correct one. And then you would get out from this commit and create a new hotfix branch. And then you would do your changes and then create a new release. You call it 1.2.4 because this is why we are using the patch. So basically we are doing like bugs. Of course, like in your company, it might be different, but from this one, we create a new release and now we have a different branch and we have now a new version, and now we could get this code and do the building and testing and everything that we need to do. And we need to add our changes back. So we could merge the changes back into master on top of it, and we could merge it back into develop. Some companies, they would say, okay, we don't merge it back to master just to not destroy anything, because sometimes commit, if you merge it back to master, it could do weird stuff in versioning. Of course, like you might encounter it at one point if you are using this way of doing the commits, but you would don't like if you saw it, you would know the problem itself and you would never do it back again. So if you need the changes back to develop, you would add them. If you don't, it's just like a fix that is only occurred in this version but never occurred later. You don't need to merge it back. So this is the difference between the three ways of doing the commit. So the first one, like to recap again, the first one, no one do it. It's only for personal projects. You only have master and always add commits. And for this one, feature branches, you always feature from like branch from your master and then create your feature, merge it back. And if you have bugs, you always also check out, create a branch, your bug, and merge it back. And with Git flow, you always have two main branches. You always have develop and master. Develop, where you add your features, fix bugs, and then at the end of the quarter or after few months, or like it depends on the release cycle in your company. Maybe it's every 1 year, who knows? Like you have to ask your company itself. You would stop at a certain commit. You would say, okay, this is the stop of the release. You would collect your features and create a testing release, and then you start to test it and do everything inside it to make sure that it's working, and then deliver to customer, and you would merge it to master. And from master, you would tag it with a certain number and create a build or an image or an XCE file or DMG file to create like a product eventually to deliver to the other people. And if there is a hotfix, that is a bug that occurred for a released with a D, released version, you would create a hotfix branch from this version and create a new fix for it, and then create a new build and release it. This one is quite complicated and it's only used when you are in a company that is building product. So these are also the branching strategies that we worked with, and also I worked with 3 of them. Of course, this one is simple. This also I worked with them as well. So yeah, this is a summary of everything that you would need in using Git. Of course, like if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I would answer them. Of course, like this video was one of the longest I have recorded so far. And it's very important to be able to know how to use Git, how to create branches, how to merge, how to do pull requests, how to resolve conflicts, how to use these commands to make yourself productive, like when building and developing stuff. Yeah, so if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. If anything is not understandable from this video, I would do like another recording, like short videos about them. And hopefully, yeah, you would find this video useful and help you during your work. So thanks, and happy watching for the upcoming videos. See you. Ciao.